pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone for being here tonight on our January 20th meeting. It was pushed one day due to the holiday yesterday. So without further ado, we'll move into the agenda. Vanessa Kelder, our assessor from the town, is present this evening because there's been a lot of conversations and things going on with the veterans tax exemption. So, and there's been a lot of motion and things changing, and she's the best one who's been updated on everything. So I asked her if she would come by for a couple of minutes and just explain where things are currently.
Here. Anybody want a packet that I have that I gave to the town board?
There he is.
So you can follow through what I'm about to say. Did you want one? Yep. You're welcome. All right. Yes. You're welcome. Want me to stand up here?
Wherever you like.
Okay. So the
Want a
first.
microphone? I'll give you a microphone.
No, I think my voice is pretty good.
You?
Yes. So the first page is from January 8th of 2025, the original bill that the governor has signed, which was supposed to be an act for January 2nd of 2026. Since then, that's what's the original document. Since then, the government signed another bill with that bill 1183 to pass the law for 100% disability rating. Okay? That was on January 5th of 2026. January 13th, I got a chapter amendment. And that was to propose for not to be a local law, to remove it to make it mandatory. Chapter defines the new exemption as an additional exemption. So because if you're 100% veteran, you'll get another exemption application to fill out if you're 100% only. And there's about 838 through the whole county of Orange County that are 100% veterans, disability. So to make that clear, okay? And there's other requirements. You have to meet, you can't be working physically disability. You have to have the housing grant, which nobody in this district of Village of Washingtonville, Village of South Bloominggrove, and the town of Bloominggrove that I know of that has the housing grant. Unless, if they do, they need to come to me and the VA needs to give me papers that you have to fill out and so forth. Everybody's following? Any questions? So one thing I'm going to...
Did you say 88 or 800?
838 roughly, I think I heard the county said. Thursday, I talked to the state themselves. They are working with new assessors. They all got appointed in October for the new 6-year terms for assessors. That's how usually they get voted in. And my fight was, as an assessor, a previous assessor since 2016, what are the requirements? We have no application, no percentage, no dollar amount for this new addition for the exemption, and no information. I don't have anything from housing grants, what the qualifications are. The only thing I do have is that, bear with me, they need to have PSTSD, TBI, MST, and a discharge from the LGBT veterans other than a dishonorable or bad conduct discharge. I have not seen that on a DD-214. They need 100% disability rating with a permanent and total destination from the VA and a total disability based on individually unemployed. So you can't be working. So if you're working and you're 100%, maybe it's a part-time job. And the last one, which I've been on this with my office, the Special Adept Housing Grant. Anybody know anybody that has their house that it's equipped for their disability? Please have them contact my office so we can get that going, so I can get the numbers out there, so I can give it to the town, so I can give it to the villages, so we can work on how many residents have it. Any questions, Finn? I see you're thinking.
Not to you.
No, you can, no, hit me with it, because I'm here just because the
I'm
law.
gonna be honest with you, the bill is bullshit, because it was poorly written from the get-go, and it's continuing to be poorly written.
Absolutely, you're right.
The fact that they didn't get any guidance from any veterans within the state or veteran organizations throughout the state to write this bill is a disgrace. Because you said 0 people, I'll tell you right now, out of the 800 in this county, nobody's gonna qualify for this.
You're absolutely right, and that's what I fought with them on Thursday.
So I'm gonna rewind this again even better. We could go back to the fireman's exemption that they passed, that was another bullshit bill, that they didn't look at the military exemptions where they use the equalization rate. When you look at the fireman's exemption and EMS exemptions, that's a flat out across the board exemption for that. So if I'm a military veteran at 25% and a fireman's getting his 10%, we have the same assessed value, guess who's saving more on his assessment? He is, not me.
Understandable, and that's what I fought with the state on Thursday from 9 to 4 p.m. I said, why are you gonna push another bill, just like the fireman's bill, and then do it for the veterans? It's not fair. Absolutely, and that's why I'm here to go into the town, the village, everywhere. I went to the supervisor, I went to Tom, I'm going to the town board. That's why I'm speaking, because I wanted to talk to the state first. They couldn't give me any answers.
Why, I've been talking to them as well, but why is the town putting on their agenda to have a public hearing for the resolution to pass?
I think they were a little confused. I'm gonna talk to them tonight about it, because there's more changes that they're not aware of. I've been in a class for 2 weeks, so I haven't got to communicate, and I think that was just a little miscommunication. It will come off tonight, I promise you.
So I don't need to drive down
No, you don't, you can follow me, but what I'm about to say to them is about the same thing I'm gonna say to you guys. That's why I'm here tonight. There was a little miscommunication. I apologize. As an assessor, I have to keep up with my credits and my license, and to keep up with the state with this. Like I said, I was in a class on Thursday and fighting with the state on Thursday until 4 o'clock. It was almost 8 hours fighting with them, and you know what they can say to me? I have to get back to you. I said, no, you don't have to, because this has already came out in January 8th of 2025, which should have been effective for January 2nd of 2026, and my department has nothing for you guys. And I'm not that type of person to say, I don't know. So when it came out, where's the application? Where am I gonna call these veterans to say, hey, come in, let's start the process, because March 1st is right around the corner. Now, they pushed it to October of 2026 because they don't know what they're doing. And that's why I'm here to say I'm on top of it. The minute I hear something or they give me something, for me to fight to them first before I tell you guys, I'm going to do it. So like I said, Thursday I was on them. Here I am today on Tuesday after a nice holiday. You know, Martin Luther King, you know, anybody. I'm on it. And I'm on it, just, you know, I have family members that are veterans too, and that's the thing about the fire exemption, that's what I threw at them. I said, you're doing the same thing. And here we are a year later, they don't have nothing to give to my office, besides phone calls for me to say, I'm on it, I have to talk to the state. And they finally answer the phone. Why I'm in a class that I'm supposed to keep up with, you know what I mean? Which has to do with exemptions, so you know what I mean? So, you have a question? You have a question?
Better not.
No, you guys, no, that's why I'm here.
I'm really teasing.
Vinny, I'm telling you right now, I'm on it more than anything. If you heard me, I'm not a woman that likes to scream, but when I told her and I said, listen, do not talk to these new assessors that you know how these exemptions work. You don't, because this particular one is not right. So that's why I gave you 4 packets. The original bill, the signed one again for the January 2nd, which I got on January 5th, 3 days later. Then the amendment on January 13th, but I have nothing.
Was the chapter amendment signed? To this point?
Not yet. No, it's not. It's still active, so make that clear. All right. And now they're trying to push it that, like I was going, October 1st of 2026, and nowhere in the amendment does it change the requirements or qualifying conditions. It should. It should have that. And I have no application and no percentage what I'm going to put on your property, because it can't go below 0. Some of you are going to be negative. How, as an assessor, how am I going to calculate that? And town boards, budgets, taxes, how are they going to figure that all out? Somebody has to make up the money. The state ain't going to give it to us probably. You don't know. They don't tell us anything. Yes.
So James Schoolfish was on here as one of the people that introduced this. What do they think?
Who's
Well,
Jay?
Elias.
I don't know him very well.
He does.
You do?
Come on.
No, tell me.
No, I do. I worked in the office for Assemblyman Marr for the last 2 years.
Okay.
I was doing the assembly with another assembly member.
Yeah.
But, I worked with Schoolfish politically, but not within legislative wise. But anything regarding veterans or push when it comes to the bills, or especially with this with the governor, unfortunately, he's on active duty right now in the Navy, but Assemblyman Brian Marr, who represents this district, is on top of many of these things, especially when it comes to veterans and honor flight and those type of organizations. So I can get you in touch with his office.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nobody has
I think-
contacted my
But
office.
James introduced this bill.
Is he a co-sponsor?
Yes, the first page.
Well, they haven't contacted me
January
directly.
2025. Maybe we can put a fire under him, you know?
Listen, yeah, okay.
Yeah, have him call my office, ask for me directly.
Yeah.
I've been telling everybody, Vin, I don't know if you're a
I send like
veteran.
100 emails a day, so I'm pretty good.
All of these.
You can send 100 emails a day. I'm the type, I'd rather be on the phone with you, come in my office, knock on my door, sit down, and tell me
Did
everything.
you get my email?
Yes, I did. I sent you one back.
I'd be happy to give, a lot of these are Hudson Valley senators, so Rollison, Weber, and whatnot, so I'd be happy to give you some.
Yes, no, give me as much information, who, what, when, and where. I'm not a political person, so you could say the president, I don't even know who, what. But I will know when the minute you walk through my office, send me an email,
Yeah.
I'm on it. So that's why I'm here today, okay?
Thank you.
Any other questions? You guys have any questions?
We're good, thank you.
You're good? And like I said, the state should be giving me a call on this Thursday. If they don't, I told them I will be calling them. They said absolutely, but I wanted answers, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in and
Nice to
giving us the
You
update.
too.
I mean, we never, we knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm the new assessor for the town of Blooming Grove. Walk in my office, email me, call me. I don't have a card actually, but
Sounds pleasant.
you can find me.
It's on the-
Town of Blooming Grove,
Town of
I'm there
Blooming
from
Grove.
7:30 to 4:30, whatever. Okay.
A few of the chief staffs.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't miss me.
Hey, Vanessa, just change your voicemail.
What was it?
Your voicemail.
Oh, yeah, and I changed my voicemail. It used to be Moses. It used to be. He called and said, I thought Moses was, no, I'm sorry. So if you did get Moses' email, it actually is me. All right? Good? Any other things? Thank you, guys. And
Thanks.
yes,
Thanks,
have
Vanessa.
them.
Yeah,
Contact.
I'll wait if your chief staff.
Perfect.
Vanessa.
Have a
Yes.
beautiful day.
Perfect. Yes. You want to come to the town now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Road together, save a dime. Wonderful.
You
just gotta bring him back. Welcome aboard.
She's great.
All right, great.
She's great.
That was a real good update and just the latest and greatest information, so it works. All right, so moving to the public hearings, local law number 1, which is for filming, production, movies, things along those lines. So could I have a motion to open? Well, not yet. After we do the
No, my comment is for public hearing.
Oh, okay, so let's just open it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll set
okay.
my hand up.
Okay, no worries. I have a motion to open the public hearing. Have a second. Steve on the motion, Vernon on the second. Any questions, comments on that? If not, public hearing is open. Yeah, Jim.
So, do we have a copy of the law?
It's online,
No, it's not.
okay.
I've been asking.
Sure.
I have been asking. Right now, the only thing that's on there now that just appeared is the film application, not the law itself.
So we do have, obviously, copies of the local law. I'd be happy to share it with you. Huh?
Chris, you're pulling it up right now?
I'm just saying, like, how do we have
He's
a,
right, it's just a film
like,
application.
how do we have a public hearing on a law that we haven't seen?
Well, if you're happy, I'll be happy to table it to the next meeting.
We can take a look at it now, you know?
You don't mind if I give it to him, right?
No, not at all. No.
Vinny, do you want my copy? There we go.
Make that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've copied it.
there you go.
Read it out loud. Read it out loud.
I was reading that. Is there a site where all the local laws that are in effect now are available entirely?
They're in the E-code book, which is in the process of being reorganized and,
Okay, 'cause I was looking today for the same thing.
yeah, it
And
should
I
be
found The section that I was referred to was.
under local laws, and then we created two kind of folders. One as draft, and the other one would be for adopted. So if it's a draft that we're kind of talking about like now, it would be under there, and then once it's passed, we've moved it into the adopted area. And then the process is, once it's adopted, then we send it up to the state to be, I'll call it law,
This is
catalog.
on the village's website?
I'm sorry?
This link is on the village's website?
Yes, it's under
It's not
local
just the
laws.
one that has the pieces, these pieces are, we can find these pieces. Well, you look under like the local laws for 2026, and you can find the page, like this page here, which says we're changing a portion of the law, but not, the whole law's not, wasn't listed, or I didn't see it. Maybe it's just me.
So if you, which law specifically are you talking about, Tom?
So Mike, I have a question about the residency one. I didn't see the filming one either.
Okay, all right.
Do you have a
We'll
question?
double check it, because when we send the stuff up to the web guy, he'll do the upload, and I think what we need to do is just follow up and do a check to make sure it got there. Because sometimes he might
Okay.
Mhm.
presume putting it in a different folder, we need to, and that's happened actually over the last couple of weeks, when we were uploading things that he was putting it in an incorrect folder, I'll call it.
Well, I also had, and we did a little bit of a reorg on the website, so to condense, because, like, for example, all the agendas going back for years and years were all on one page, so rather than having to navigate it that way, we keep the current year visible, and then from 2025 and back, we made a folder for it. So all prior years are in one folder. You want to review something from the past, and you click on that folder, but we're only keeping the current under 26. And the same with the documents.
Do you have
We
another
kind of
question?
consolidated.
Still reading.
Okay. So along the lines of the filming one, I saw that it pertains to student films, public service, teaching, not-for-profit, educational, advertising, major commercial production. So I assume that legitimate news is excluded from having a requirement, is that correct?
Legitimate,
Media.
News, media?
Yeah. If Channel 12 wants to come down and film
Yeah.
in the center of town, they don't
Yeah.
have to get a permit. They
This
can show up
is
and film.
really for more, almost movie productions, documentary type filming, that kind of thing.
Okay, what about monetized social media?
Sorry?
That was my question.
Monetized social media,
That was my question.
I'm sorry.
No, that was gonna be my question as well.
modified social
So
media.
like monetized YouTube sites where people do, as an example, prank channels or cop watching or things like that. Do they require a permit? Will they require a permit under this law, or are they allowed to just show up?
They could just show up, it's not part, this was really more structured for production filming,
With the crew coming in.
Okay.
where they need a space, or they're,
Is a crew more than one person then?
yes. Well, let's put it this way, we've been approached by a film company to use our police department for a portion of their movie. And they wanna come in. So the production is 100 cars, 16, trucks, single axle, a couple of dual axle vehicles, the actors, some trailers, some things like that that they would need. And this is like for a half a day filming for whatever they, whatever they're gonna be doing. It's gonna be one of those, I'll just use the term Hallmark, kind of a Christmas thing for next year. So,
Okay.
and that's really what it's geared to.
When it might impact traffic, where we may have to have extra patrol and that type of
Or
thing.
require a police presence or police.
Yeah, police presence, because it's built in there that, for if they want the police, and normally they do, when they had that filming at Weir's, a couple of years ago, they, leased out, some of the officers, they'd rather do that than, bring in security, that kind of
I
thing,
remember
so.
when Clooney was down in Bloomingdale, there was
Right.
a caravan of cars heading down.
Yep. So it's really more on that, and to have the permit, so it's filled out, and, we just go through the normal process like an assembly permit, and it just happens to be, for filming.
And then once permits are submitted and approved, they'll be disclosed in the village meeting, so
Yes,
we would know. that.
Yep. just like our assembly permits and facility use permits.
So I didn't read it either, but is there anything on food vendors?
No,
Nothing?
No, there isn't, but we recommend that they
Keep it local?
to keep it local,
but here's
yes.
the thing, you're gonna recommend it, they're not gonna follow it because.
Well,
And there's no,
And they already said to us, Vinnie, that they have specific catering
The same guy,
facilities that follow them around
same guy
and
in
do the
Jersey.
whole thing. I
The
get it.
same company in Jersey that's gonna
I
come
get
in
it.
here and they're gonna go to him.
And we stress to them that we would, between our delis and our other eateries,
I would make it hard,
to use those. Well, we are.
you know,
Yeah, we had a good conversation, that they're not, resistant to any of this stuff. So whatever we need is really whatever they could do to help us give them what they need is their goal. They're, like I said, they're very easy to work with. We've asked them to do that, they said they would, and, take it from there.
Vinnie, just so you know, most actors, if they're any kind of named actor, are part of the guild, Screen Actors Guild or SAG, and part of their contractual agreement would have about catering services.
that's fine. I agree with that, I'm well aware of that because I used to do security for all those guys. But that outside company comes in, even in New York City, they don't even use New York City businesses. That guy comes in from Jersey with his large trailer, and because it's the same guy at every set, no matter what movie, no matter what production, HBO, Netflix, Hulu,
Right,
whoever's
it's Graham
filming it.
Food Services.
But to put it in the law for our town, make sure they utilize local businesses. Because those are the ones that are gonna suffer with all those people and all those extras coming through town.
Sure.
They're gonna go straight to that goddamn trailer instead of frequenting our local businesses. That was my main concern.
Well, and you
Trying to
know what,
force-
they also told us is that most of the people most of the times if they're off or whatever they're doing, don't go to the trailer because it's kind of the same food. And they like to go elsewhere, be it the pizzerias or whatever
I get
else.
that.
So,
They'll
we
say that.
stressed it, we made our point really clear, and when they come back with the application, we'll continue that to make sure that they do. And a lot of people, they just get in their cars and they'll visit local restaurants because they're, maybe tired of that same old hamburger they got from the same guy for the last 20 years.
There was no fee schedule in there.
no.
The fee schedule is on the application.
How much are we charging them?
It's in the neighborhood of 5,000, and it's $200 an hour for police. And that rounds it up. So,
I have a question on the residency room. This may just be technical.
This is, we're actually just in the public hearing for the filming right now.
We're on filming law.
yeah, we're just on the phone, so, cut. Are there any other questions on the filming local law? If not, could I have a motion to close the public hearing,
Did you
please?
get yourself a spot in the film?
We tried, but they said, no way, they were looking for you, Ken, for God's sakes. Have a second, please? Second, thank you. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes to close public hearing on local law number 1 filming. Local law number 2, we're going to table until, I believe, February 2nd. So we'll move into the local law number 3.
Can I just ask a question on that? 'Cause I looked at the verbiage that you have,
Yeah,
so what's being struck out is the person has to be a resident of the state of New York, and it's been changed to adjoining, Washington, Orange County and adjoining counties. Does that allow somebody from Pike County or Sussex County, New Jersey to have a job?
technically, yes.
that the
We were
intention?
looking,
Is that the intention?
the law originally was the village, then it expanded to Orange County, and we wanted to then expand it to the contiguous counties of Orange County.
This is the intention of it by the state?
If that was to happen, then we would probably have to make that adjustment to the local law. Right now,
The local law, I'll be
Sorry.
tinkering with the language of it. And
Is that a lawyer term, tinkering?
tinkering, yeah, that's defined in the Constitution,
That's a
actually.
big
I need to work on it, and so there will be a different local law, proposed local law, posted later.
right. The
It
reason for the-
just stuck out in,
Yeah, no,
when
that
the
was
state
the
of New York
reason
was
too.
gone, and adjoining counties, and since we're on the border of 2 other states, they
Yeah.
are adjoining technically.
If someone went on the list and, at the time they had to take the county test to pass it, and they lived in Pike County, the chances of that might be slim, but, we'll address it through the local law.
Then why have a residency requirement at all?
Pardon?
Then why have a residency requirement at all?
Why would we have it? I want to say because of Orange County, civil service.
But if somebody could be a resident of Pike County and have a civil service job in Orange County,
Potentially, if they want to, drive 2.5 hours or whatever, but if that's the case, that's where to me, it's almost crazy to even have it,
So
You
the
know, I
reason,
mean, if I wanted to work in the city, I can go to work in the city. I mean, because it's civil service, you can only, that's the way the law was written. So we are trying to expand it, but we would think someone that lives in Dutchess or Westchester will take that hour ride up here to come to work if that's the way it was gonna work. If they came from Pike County or Greene County, which is in a good hour, hour and a half ride, we'd have to address it.
and the answer to why you have it is because if you don't, village law, the state village law says that certain positions have to be residents of the village. So.
this one no longer does. This
So,
one no longer.
There's already a local law that allows certain non-elected individuals in the village to be appointed employees if they live in Orange County. So that was the purpose of the pre-existing law.
Thank you.
Thank you. We didn't close that, correct? Michelle? Close, right? All right. Looking at local law number 3, authorizing property tax levy in excess of the limit established in General Municipal Law 3-C. I have a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion.
A second, please. A second, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. So again, this is basic formality to advise that our tax rate will be above 2%, and this is just a protection of what we need to do, or otherwise there's penalties behind it. So it's something that we do every year. Even if it's under 2%, I think we just do it just for protection at the end of the day. And it's all about to allow the village to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing March 1st, 2026 that requires real property tax levy in excess of the tax levy limit as defined in, again, General Municipal Law 3-6. So, are there any questions out in the audience? Are there any questions at the board level? I have a motion to close the public hearing. Second. And a second, Mr. Vernon. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, so now it just moves into public comment on agenda items. Anybody? Yes, Paul?
The number 7, that hydrant up at Tolan and Decker,
Yes.
it got hit,
Yes.
I guess?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it just got hit, this is the second time, within like the last year, remember? We just fixed that hydrant. Is there any way we could put something around it to protect it?
I don't.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah,
it
car
just
hit it.
It just got fixed.
Yeah, I don't remember that one getting knocked down.
Oh, yeah.
We had a problem at Bull.
Oh, yeah, no,
in
no, no,
North
maybe it
Street.
was, at the end of 2021, but it
Oh, I don't
recently, yeah, that's the second time, and it's gonna happen, it's like the one at the DPW. See what they did at the DPW? They put, what do they
Yeah,
call
put
it?
those ballards.
Valves around it.
Yeah,
Maybe they need to do that that
yeah.
one, because that one at DPW used to
Yeah,
get hit
it's
weekly.
supposed to get repaired tomorrow.
It's expensive though, keep on fixing it.
Yeah,
They definitely did
well,
today.
they're paying for it, that's one good thing. It's,
Oh, people hit it?
yeah, yeah, their insurance is paying for it. Yep. Any other questions on the agenda? If not, then we'll just move into comments and announcements. So, our MS4 swamp plan of 2026 has been posted and is online with the latest updates per the requirements of MS4. And we also got some pretty good news just a little bit ago that we had applied for an MS4 grant for the mapping of village outlets, inlets, the water bodies, the whole routine, and that map just needs to be updated. So we right now have been awarded up to $75,000 for that grant that came through McGoey Hauser Netzel, so they did a good job on that. And we'll wait for some more information, and we'll be talking to McGoey Hauser Netzel as we move down the road to start that project and look at how we get reimbursed for that money. So that's really good news. Savings of $75,000 out of our budget, so that's huge. As you know, tax season is around the corner. Bills will be going out shortly. Just a reminder that payments can be done online through the village website, and we'll keep you posted on the progress with that. Also, we're gonna, this evening, approve the assembly permit for the Washingtonville Scholarship Run, which will be on March 21st, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's usually pretty quick, and then the slower folks like me will be on the sidewalk. Well levels are at 27 feet, Paul. They've been holding steady.
That's about where they've been since back in November, you know.
Yeah, they've been kind of hanging at that spot. I was surprised. I think once the ground finally thaws, all this
Oh,
rain
yeah.
that we've had and snow, well, hopefully we'll have some decent effect, especially as everything is flowing south to us, that as much snow as they've gotten up above us, several feet, will definitely be a plus. We'll also be accepting the resignation of part-time officer that was effected on January 16th. GRM is the archiving project that we're taking a dive into. We did have our kickoff meeting, and we just received about, how many boxes, 100? 100 boxes. So we will begin archiving our documents and getting them out of this building into a safer environment, which will be sealed, and there's a whole big process to when you're doing all this archiving, so it'll be really, really good, because we are sitting on some very old documents that really need to get out of here. So that's a good project, and we'll have our internal kickoff meeting probably the beginning of next week at this point, since this week is a little bit shorter. We mentioned the fire hydrant at the intersection. Again, it's up for repair, hopefully tomorrow, weather permitting. We also had a drainage pipe collapse on Watson Lane that was running through people's backyards. That was done years ago, and started to back up, so the company that was doing all the work on the sidewalks, ATEC, had made those repairs to that drainage pipe, pulled it out, and is now replaced with plastic. And the sidewalk was replaced, and the curb, they actually went underneath the curb, so they saved a lot of money in the replacement process of that. For New York State DOT for the sidewalks, we just recently put in a permit for Sewell Park. That will be a sidewalk from our village parking lot at 29 West Main Street to across the street from the middle school. And we'll wait to hear back from these guys and see what DOT wants us to do next. They'll probably come out, do some surveys, and I'm sure they'll have some questions, because the right-of-way is gonna be a little bit wider. There's a number of trees and dead trees that are in front of that, I'm not sure the number of that house, but the white, yellow house that's on the corner of the Victorian, right next to our parking lot. Some of that stuff will need to get cleared out.
No, that's 31.
That's 31, thank you. We'll also be approving an ARB application, Architectural Review Board application for a new sign for Guilty Pleasure Cafe, as they will be relocating their new business to 1 Depot Street, and also doing the same thing for memorabilia moments memorable moments at 32 West Main Street. It's a new storefront for an area that they will be doing venues
Events.
and party events and things along those
Rental
lines.
space for events.
Right, and they seem to be pretty active, there seems to be a lot of interest in it, so good for them. That'll be a nice addition to our village businesses. Fire hydrant at North Street in Decker was also damaged by a vehicle. Police reports were filled out, and we'll be going through their insurance to get that hydrant replaced as well. I didn't know if you wanted to go over the historic building update. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can, basics is that
Yeah,
we're,
yeah, basic,
we're
yeah.
moving through a list. We're trying to prioritize which structures we want to designate as historical. We've done so far, actually, the old Porter Candle Store, which is now Guilty Pleasures Cafe, not cheesecake anymore. It wouldn't fit on the sign. And they're actually using the old sign. We could talk about it later, but the next set, Goshen Avenue, 30 Goshen, the Presbyterian Church, we want designated.
33 Goshen.
And 36 North Street is also a priority. They are actually linked in that the Reverend, back in the 1800s, for the First Presbyterian Church, the cemetery is adjacent to his property on North Street, and he was actually an abolitionist that helped to free slaves from the South and was connected to the Underground Railroad. I had reached out to the new owner of 36 North Street about a year or a year and a half ago, requested, because that's, obviously that's where they're doing that big run out. The fence is down, and they're ready to, pretty much done with the renovation. So we would love to get that designated. Once a structure is designated, it's a local designation. We can try for state and federal, but at minimum, any local designation, the requirements are they cannot ever demo it. And any renovation that they may want to make has to go before the Historical Review Board, which right now would be the Village Board.
Interior?
Sorry?
Any interior renovation as well?
Interior, I mean,
Like if they're gonna do a bathroom, right, come down to you guys and say, I'm gonna do my bathroom?
Well, in terms of, I
What is the
didn't really
criteria?
get that far. We're collaborating and working with the planner regarding that. Right now, we've been focused more on the external, because we're trying to determine, and we are in the process of getting some, I know Tuxedo has it in place, so,
Well, my thing is, I'm fine, you want to designate, fine. How do you do that before you have some criteria in place?
how do we designate?
I
Well,
think-
the criteria is, they have to meet certain strict criteria in what would allow it to be designated to begin with.
I get that, but like, you said they can't, the criteria is they can't demolish it, they limit the reservation.
Correct.
But I just asked you, what if I wanted to get my bathroom done in that historical house?
Correct.
Do I have to come in front of the board?
I mean, regardless.
You
it's
didn't
gonna-
know, there was no answer.
Right, because it's still in that process, so
So
it's
what-
not under one of the requirements in terms of maybe what the state may have or what federal may have.
I get what you're saying, Don, but my point is, we're designated properties, but there's no guideline on what I just asked. So we're designating houses, which is fine, but we don't have the guidelines, what they can and can't do.
So the big piece is it cannot be demoed, right? Everything else is a work in progress right now, and we're working on it.
Well, why don't we do that first, before you go to a resident and say, we really want this, say we want this house over here to be historic, and you tell them, okay, the only thing you can't do is demo it, but then further down the line, well, you can't change the molding inside, you can't do, the bathroom without telling us, it's just adding it to the more steps that they didn't know about previously when they agreed to be on that historic.
They don't have to agree, Vinnie.
Also, you just basically tell them that.
On the local level, they don't have to agree. On the federal level, they do. With the state, I don't,
I think they do in the state level.
and I do as well. But on the local level, it's our decision.
So the board determines,
Yes,
What would
us
be-
and,
what would
well, it
be
has to meet the
historic?
criteria.
Right. And
And
there's a
they're-
lot of background work that goes on between the planner, they are,
all right, so what is the criteria?
if you
For the
want, I can
village
get
board.
you,
What's the village board's criteria?
It's not the
Okay.
village boards, it's
It is,
criteria
you just said
that
it's your
was
village board.
Well,
if
there
you're
are
looking
certain.
for specific things, interior, exterior.
No, now my question is, what's the criteria for the village board to designate a house historic?
The history.
It starts with that, and it's not just the history. It's the history and it's the background of the structure. So who lived in it? What affiliation, like for example, 36 North Street with the Underground Railroad. It can't just be because it was built in the 1800s. That enough is not enough to designate it historical.
That, there's a lot of criteria to that, it's an application at the end of the day. And there's many, many pieces of it that narratives need to be described. So who lived there back in the 18, similar to what Donna is describing. Every house, the Presbyterian church on Goshen Avenue, I mean, it's like reading a history book. So all of that is outlined. And then the pieces that we still need to dive into is a good question, right? What if they want to do something interior? Exterior, and the biggest thing for us is, we don't want it demolished. We don't want to lose our history. So that, to us, is priority number one. Everything that wraps around that is what we need to still,
I just feel that
Yeah.
somebody bought a house, maybe they haven't renovated it yet. Maybe they bought it for the future of renovating it, to go there after the fact. that they
it won't be
already-
after the fact, Benny.
They're already in the house, though, that's the
They
thing.
could be in the house, that's fine, but they didn't know at the time either that it was potentially historic. I bet you they don't have any idea that
Well,
it's
which
historic.
is, regardless, which is messed up because maybe that was the plans for them for the future. The fact, maybe we should go forward and say that the house sells, boom, it's designated historic. Somebody's already in that house. They might have future plans for that house. To go there and say, the village board goes in and says, we did our research, boom, stamp of approval, your house is historic, you can't do this, this, and this now. I think.
And
it's
the
not-
historical review board has the leverage to make those decisions.
Exactly, and the historical
on a-
review board is the village board.
But on a basis, on a one at a time basis. It's not like we have to have every answer for, we'll be willing to hear the homeowner. You know, we can make those decisions as we go. Not everything is in stone, but the big piece is it cannot be demoed. You know, maybe we want to say you have to have architectural shingles, if you want to re-roof your roof, we don't want a flat roof. You know, maybe we don't want hot pink siding in a historical, on a historical landmark. But, you know, it's something that can be reviewed on a basis as they come in.
Case by case.
There are certain things that
Don't you
will
think the village
be,
board being a historical determination is a conflict of interest?
no, just like we are the ARB. Is that a conflict? Most village boards or town boards are the ARB as well. We had an ARB, it didn't work out.
I don't know, I'm always my opinion.
Appreciate that, thank you. Anything else?
Just, it's coming to my mind, I can think of two other places where it happened, like the Presbyterian Church over on Iron Forge Road in Warwick. Guy turned the church into his house. What if, how would that work? How would that fit in? Does it have to stay, you know, if it's a house, it has to stay a house, and if it's a church,
No,
it
it
has to stay
doesn't
a church?
necessarily have to stay. It can be
And then the zoning.
repurposed, but it can't be demoed. And again, some of this has to be made on an individual basis, because not everything is boilerplate.
You do? Yeah, no, I do. You know, it's a lot of work, especially on the planning side of things, when they're putting all this documentation together, all the research that needs to be done, working with New York State Historic Division, I'll call it, besides our local historians, gathering all this information to show that it is, and then they'll tell us yes or no. So for the most part, everything that we've selected is and has historic value to the village. So it's a step by step, and